Nittany Lions up 18-14, their largest lead of set number 2, as this was right about the time we saw St. Francis start to crumble in set number 1, as Penn State was able to take that 25-20. With Aiden Albrecht behind the line, Nittany Lions up by 4, looking to extend the lead. Carver's dug by Clemens. Tight to the net. Mendy has to go get it. Tips over the block. Dug. Buck cross court, kept alive by Albrecht. McLaren with the swing. Another great dig in the back row by St. Francis. Buck rolls it over the block. This time Braswell the setter. Unorthodox swing by Albrecht will reset. Now St. Francis. Braswell off triple block and out of bounds. And there's the first long rally that has gone St. Francis's way. Stephen Braswell with the kill. That's a great way to establish momentum out of a timeout.
Yeah, and you talked about that unorthodox swing coming from Albrecht. The timing was just a little bit off on the set from Braswell. Forced Albrecht to send a free ball there, giving St. Francis that opportunity.
St. Francis will have to string a couple together, however. Still down by 3. Clemens will pass from the back row. McLaren chops over the block. Pipe play for Thompson, dug by Luke Braswell. Mendy off the block, one-armed by Albrecht. McLaren takes a swing down the line for the kill. And how about the defense from Aiden Albrecht to cover, and then McLaren with the kill.
Hey, you had Kozlak and Thompson there in the back row ready for that ball. Both players going down, but McLaren just so smart with his placement here. Really didn't have a lot of options except to go line. Maybe a bit of a touch there on that block, but getting it down to the floor.
Jason Donarovich with the assist on that play. He's behind the line. Braswell will roll, and Donarovich can't get there. Stephen Braswell with kill number 7, 19-16. Well, Penn State has been siding out so well all match, you almost feel like it's inevitable that St. Francis gets a point. Penn State will seem to get it right back.
Yeah, the Nittany Lions have been hanging around about 80%, fallen right now to 77%. St. Francis holding there in the low 60s, right now at 63%.
McLaren beats a triple block. Another case where that was the only set that Braswell had, but McLaren was able to get it enough towards the middle of the court to get point number 20 for the Nittany Lions. Some room to breathe, up by 4 as Mendy serves. Flips it over from the 3-meter line. It's Kozlak. High hands for the kill goes Thompson.
And Braswell and Gear were there for the Nittany Lions. Off the touch of, I think, Luke Braswell pulling St. Francis back within 3 here. The Red Flash are not out of this set. They're hitting 268, actually. That just climbed to 286. Their best performance here of the match thus far. Hitting 203 overall in this match. But this second set here is where the offense has started to come alive for St. Francis.
This season, St. Francis, not a great attacking team. A 194 hitting percentage as a team, as Mendy has all kinds of room down the line. It's the 3rd lowest in the EIVA, so when they win matches, if they're not attacking well, St. Francis hasn't really been able to find other ways to come out on top, and big reason why they're struggling right now in the EIVA standings at 3 and 4, middling right there with Charleston, West Virginia. McLaren, big serve. Near side, Thompson into the seam, and overpass from Clemens. Braswell from the back row will roll. Clemens digs. Luke Braswell, Mendy out of the back row, chops. Thrown in the air by St. Francis. K. Grice sends it over. Braswell, setter dump into the block. Gear resets. Clemens tight to the net. Albrecht will chop high hands. Swing from Buck. A roll shot. That'll get the job done. Sloppy rally there at the end goes the way of St. Francis. Second long rally they've won in a row. It's 21-18.
Yeah, back within 3 here, and in these situations, the Nittany Lions have been able to hold St. Francis at bay because they've been able to side out so well. St. Francis needs to go on a run, but Brandon Buck at the service line. 21 aces on the year. He's a guy who can help pull a team back, unless he puts it into the net.
Well, if you hadn't jinxed them, Eric, I think he would have been fine behind there, as Buck with the service errors that are coming pretty frequently now for St. Francis. It will be 12 on the match for the Red Flash. 22-18. And again, Penn State doing just enough to keep St. Francis at bay in set number 2. Here comes Penrose. Takes a little off that, and it's good enough for the ace. So Penrose throwing rockets in his first trip from behind the line, comes back with the off speed, and is able to find the floor.
What makes the serve of Jalen Penrose so tough to receive is it tails down so quickly. It just drops right from out underneath you. Stephen Braswell frustrated that he couldn't get down low on that one.
Penrose tries to overpower that one into the net. But anytime you get at least one ace, you're going to take that from a service specialist coming into the match. It's 23-19.
Oh, absolutely. Now 37 aces on the year for Jalen Penrose, leading this team.
There's some miscommunication in the back row. McLaren and Clemens got tangled up. 23-20 Penn State. Royce Clemens having another phenomenal match against the Red Flash. My turn for the announcer's jinx, although that's a great serve by Thompson behind the line. Brings St. Francis within 2. It's 23-21, and Penn State will call a timeout to talk things over. The Red Flash making things interesting in set number 2. They won't go away quietly. Hello, welcome to the first episode of this year's Com Radio NFL Draft Show. I'm your host, Jack Molesky. For the next 6 weeks, we will be keeping you up to date with the latest NFL draft news. Along the way, we'll break down this year's draft. From top prospects to hidden gems, from pro day recaps to positional breakdowns, you can catch anything and everything you need to know about this year's draft right here. Now let's kick things off with the opening drive. The New York Jets made this year's first big move, trading with the Indianapolis Colts to acquire the number 3 pick in the NFL draft. The Jets gave up this year's 6th overall pick along with 2 second-round picks, numbers 37 and 49 overall. In addition, the Colts will get a second-round pick in 2019. New York is still in search for their quarterback of the future, and this trade gives them an opportunity at either Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, or Josh Allen. The Patriots acquired Cordarrelle Patterson for the Oakland Raiders. Patterson, who is a wide receiver and return specialist, was acquired for a 5th-round pick. In addition to Patterson, the Patriots also received a 6th-round pick from Oakland. The Minnesota Vikings and Cleveland Browns have made the biggest splashes during this year's free agency period. Cleveland continues to build its offense, adding Jarvis Landry, Carlos Hyde, and Tyrod Taylor in the past few weeks. The Vikings acquired prize free agent target Kirk Cousins in the largest guaranteed deal in NFL history. In addition, Minnesota also added Sheldon Richardson to bolster an already superb defense. In NFL draft news, reports out of Cleveland have said that despite the team's acquisition of Carlos Hyde, Penn State running back Saquon Barkley is still in the mix for the number 1 pick in this year's draft. After an impressive combine performance, Barkley seems to have cemented himself as a top 5 pick at the very least. The Browns hold picks number 1 and 4 in this year's draft. That's the latest from across the league, and now we welcome David Arroyo and Zach Kaplan as we start our conference previews during this show.
Reporter Jack Molesky begins our coverage live near Old Main, where the game day set is up and the hype has been building all week. Jack?
Thanks, Jordan. As you can see, I'm live here from the Old Main lawn a little less than 24 hours before College Game Day is set to go live, and if you follow me this way, you'll see that the stage right here is up and fully operational ahead of tomorrow morning's show. Now, with a primetime matchup set for 7:30 between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Michigan Wolverines, there's been a lot of added excitement here in Happy Valley. Let's take a look. Ahead of their biggest game this season, the Penn State football team has been all business. The fans, on the other hand, are going crazy. The whiteout game has been a staple of Penn State football for years, and around town, it isn't hard to tell that the whiteout will hit Beaver Stadium tomorrow.
Passion behind the whiteout, it's such a great tradition, and when it's executed correctly, it's amazing, and it's just louder, and everyone shows up, everyone stays for the entire game, and it's also a rivalry game, so everyone wants to go.
You need to look no further than Nittanyville to determine what this game means to fans. 934 Penn State students have camped out all week to get the best seats in the house. The number of tents that stand in front of Gate A are by far the most that Nittanyville has seen so far this season.
Last year the whiteout game was incredible, and this year I expect nothing less. It's just the fans at Penn State are crazy. The fans at Penn State are all in all the time.
Along with the whiteout hype, College Game Day has made the trip to Happy Valley. The Game Day crew haven't been to Penn State since 2009. The show will go live from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday morning. If you want a good vantage point, you can get in line starting at 4 a.m. Last time that College Game Day came to Penn State, they used Beaver Stadium as the backdrop. But this year, Game Day has chosen Old Main, one of the most iconic landmarks on the entire Penn State campus. Due to the amount of people expected in town Saturday, State College Police have issued a statement advising residents and guests to expect significant delays.
Now, if you're preparing to come to College Game Day tomorrow morning, we'll be prepared for an early wake-up. The pit opens at 6:30 a.m., but you can start lining up as early as 4 a.m. Now, for students who live on or near campus, they're recommended to walk because parking downtown will be limited. However, for those traveling from out of town, the Fraser Street and Pugh Street garages will be open for business, along with the garage at Beaver Avenue. Street parking will be open but limited. For those trying to get into the pit, well, as I said, you can get in there at 6:30 a.m. You will be wanded for security reasons, and you also can't bring a bag or a purse. Now, the last thing is, and we all know this with College Game Day, signs are welcome and recommended, but they have to be appropriate to be on live television. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking we'll be seeing a lot of Saquon for Heisman signs. That's all we have here. Now back to you at the desk. So it will remain 5-on-4 in favor of the Nittany Lions. They might have conferenced and got that one right, a minute 42 of 5-on-4.
Yeah, well, they got it half right because it should be 5-on-3 right now for Penn State.
Face-off won by the Badgers, cleared the length of the ice, a minute 35 on this power play, 9:35 remaining in the third period. Penn State up a man for another minute 30. Audio right to left. Dumps one in, swings it around the boards, riding the plexiglass, near side, kept alive by Smirnov, feathering one just out of the zone as Malari couldn't keep it in. 9:19 in the third, 1:21 remaining on the 5-on-4.
So Kyle Hayton gets the penalty for roughing, but Andrew Sturtz gets 2 minutes for embellishment. And I have no idea how you can call that because Hayton throws a check to the head of Sturtz. 10 out of 10, a player is going to go down to the ice. I don't know how you can call that embellishment.
Penn State at neutral ice, Audio in his own zone. Don't know how many people wouldn't go down with a cross check to the face, but 9 minutes left, and it's still 5-on-4 with a minute remaining on the power play for the Nittany Lions. Limoges swings one in the far side corner. Pavlichev touches up. Right side point, backhand by Malari below the goal line for big Nikita Pavlichev. Has it hop over his stick, worked over by Tishke, kept alive by Limoges. Will swing one around on the ice to the far side. Malari pressured at the point. Pokes one into the slot. Limoges sticks one away. Pavlichev hooked, brought down, backhands one into the slot. Penn State keeps it alive as Limoges taken down. Smirnov, blast, Audio just wide. Jones heading to the bench, delayed call 31 on the 5-on-4. Now a 6-on-4 with 8:25. Right point, Audio, Smirnov, left slot. Fires, just wide. Didn't even see that, did Hayden. Audio on his forehand. Swings it to Soucis, right slot, Soucis into the middle, kept alive by the Nittany Lions. Smirnov one hands it out to center ice, and Penn State still will be 6-on-4 as this unit tired for the Badgers. Soucis in, 1-on-4. Right circle, worked off the puck, finally touching up are the Badgers in the form of Hughes, and with 8:01 on the clock, another Badger will head to the penalty box. This time it's Tishke. 3 seconds remaining on the original call of the 5-on-4.
And when something like that happens, you get the 6-on-4. I'm in the mindset of if you don't get, after the first look, if you don't score, just give the puck up because Penn State would have had about 30 to 40 seconds of 5-on-3. Instead, they're only going to have 3 seconds.
3 seconds of 5-on-3. Face-off one from the Nittany Lions. Kept alive. Left point, Hamilton. Back to the right point, Holtz. Right circle, Soucis. Now it's a 5-on-4 for a minute 52. Slot, Folks blocked down by Doogie just out of the penalty box. Byro below the goal line. Now to the right point. Holtz, left point. Now left dot. Hamilton, sharp angle shot. Kicked away by the left pad of Hayton into the far side corner. Half dasher Soucis. One hands it below the goal line. It's Liam Folks. Liam Folks, minute 30 on the power play. 7:30 in the period. Right point. Holtz wires one just over the glove of Hayton. Keeping that alive is Folks. He's hammered into the boards by Greenway, taken down, and the puck will be cleared with a minute 15 on the power play for Penn State. Behind the net, Audio, 7:15 remaining in the third period. Right to left go the Nittany Lions. Audio to Smirnov across his own blue line, across the red line, backhands one into the zone. Pavlichev will give chase. Below the goal line, Kalnuk first one there. He clears it right down the middle of the ice, and Jones will touch up as Wisconsin changes 55 on the man advantage for the Nittany Lions. Left side, Smirnov dumps it in. Pavlichev again gives chase. 45 on the kill for Wisconsin. Kalnuk dumps it around in the skates of Audio in front of the Wisconsin bench. Right point dumps it down below the line to Malari. Malari has it taken off his stick, and now a partial breakout here. Tarek Baker feathers one in front. Great stick lift as Doogie was crashing into the net. Smirnov ridden off the puck. Neutral ice, Limoges. 25 on the penalty kill for Wisconsin. 6:20 remaining in the period as Sternshine has it on his backhand in his own zone for Audio, working at the left side dot, now behind his own net with 15. Audio slowly out of his own zone. Barrett gallops ahead, dumps one in. Berger giving chase to Greenway. Berger takes the puck off Greenway's stick. A backhand from Barrett, left side Holtz. Right point Gobetz. 3 seconds remaining on the power play. Now it expires as Tischke out of the box. Penn State still possession. Berger, right point for Gobetz. 5 minutes, 55 on the clock. Left slot deflected in front as taken down was Berger. Big check from Inamoto. Penn State still hemming Wisconsin in the zone as Inamoto on his forehand. Wiggles one free. Pinballing at center is the puck, and finally deflected across the Penn State blue line by Wisconsin. They'll be happy to get a change. 5:30 remaining in the third period as Penn State deflects one the length of the ice. Kalnuk will touch up left to right. He has 2 assists on the game on both Wisconsin goals. 3-2 Penn State, 5:45 in the third. Kalnuk, sharp angle. Jones almost across the line. He backed into the goal and kept that puck out. I'm sure we'll get a review, Eric, but from our angle, it looked like not the entire puck crossing the goal line.
It was an awkward save from Jones because the puck was on the ice, but he reached out to make the save with his glove, and he ended up sliding back into his own net, keeping his left pad along the goal line, and I believe that's what kept it out. But going back, Dennis Smirnov saved a goal. That was the best play he's made all night. The back check on Jason Doogie to stick lift and keep him from getting a shot on goal. If Doogie was able to get that puck on his stick, was probably in the back of the Nittany Lion net. Dennis Smirnov with his best play of the night, and Peyton Jones coming up with a big but very awkward save here to keep it 3-2 for Penn State.
Twin brothers Jason and Sean Doogie here on this Wisconsin team. Sean already with the goal. That was the first of the game. Rather, the second of the game for Wisconsin. Here we have the overhead replay. This will be our best look. And Wyatt Kalnuk, I think it's no question that he's been the best player on the ice for Wisconsin. The puck, you can't see it, and there it emerges from beneath Peyton Jones because he's bending over. You can't see that puck. Can't tell how they would overturn this call. No goal as it's waved off. Face off deep in the Nittany Lions zone. They're up 3-2, 5:17 remaining.